Our developing story from last night and still stretching into this morning is the military helicopter that crashed at Gowen Field. This morning the news has confirmed that 2 people on board were killed in the crash. Good morning, I'm Spencer Blake.
And I'm Jay Bates. Overnight we did learn that the 2 people on board an Apache military helicopter have died. This morning investigators are working to figure out just what caused that crash south of Gowen Field.
And we have a crew on location there that's been checking into it this morning. The newest information we've gotten this morning is that crews are picking up that investigation this morning, and the crash happened at about 7 o'clock last night. The 2 men on board are described as seasoned pilots. The National Guard says they were on a nighttime training mission. Investigators spent several hours at the scene overnight, and at one point a Black Hawk helicopter could be seen taking off from the crash site. The names of those 2 pilots killed have not been released yet. The cause of the crash isn't known yet. Guard spokesman Colonel Tim Marsano says investigators will be working to determine that cause of the crash.
We don't know the reasons why. We can't speculate at this point. I can tell you that a thorough investigation will be happening starting right now.
Marsano says after the helicopter went down, it sent an automated beacon or a distress signal to air traffic control. The Apache helicopter that crashed is one of 16 based at Gowen Field. And investigators are telling our crews this morning that they are continuing to go through the wreckage. They've arrived back there on the scene. The wreckage itself is likely to be removed later today. But of course, the loss of 2 members of the National Guard hits hard for the men and women serving at Gowen Field. In a statement, Major General Gary Saylor said, quote, "The men and women of the Idaho National Guard are united in grief at the loss of 2 of our brothers in arms who gave their lives while training to defend our nation today. Our thoughts and prayers are with their families." Now, according to witnesses, the helicopter was traveling southeast toward the Gowen Field area just moments before the crash.
It went over, and as it went over, it was sputtering, and it was flying lower than usual, which was unusual for a helicopter. Usually they're up, way up, and it was lower. And it went that way, and the next thing, probably not even a minute and a half, it was a big boom.
That was Cheryl Stewart. She was outside her home near Victory in Maple Grove when she saw and heard that Apache helicopter fly overhead at about 7 o'clock last night. She says it's a typical sight for that neighborhood, but she immediately knew something wasn't right.
When you saw the helicopter overhead before you heard the loud noise, did you think there was something off or something wrong?
Yeah, that was my first thought. I said, that doesn't sound right, and that was my very first thought on that.
Autopsies are scheduled for both men later today. Now, Ada County Coroner Erwin Sonnenberg says because this tragedy involves members of the military, they take additional steps to ensure national security standards are met, but their job will remain the same.
Our main job will be to take care of the deceased, find out what the cause of the death was, and we'll be releasing everything back over to the military. They'll be doing all the press releases tomorrow.